One of the things some clients have asked me about lately is once we've released enough negative, trapped emotional energy and we find ourselves shifting to a more positive space and seeing that where there were a lot of blocks in the past, there is now openness and an area to be filled. And for that looks different for everyone. So one of the clients described it as cleaning out an attic or cleaning out a basement and finding that that space is no longer full of boxes or buckets or things that were weighing that space down or weighing that person down. But now they have this open space. And while they don't feel empty inside, they are wondering what to fill that space with. And again, that's different for everyone, but it's sort of a similar feeling that now that a lot of negative emotional energy has been cleared out, and if you haven't tried emotion code, that's okay if you've done a lot of work and you're now ready to step into more positive things and you're looking for something to replace some of that negative emotion experiences or patterns and behaviors that you've had in the past. If you haven't, I recommend going through something, if it's not emotion code, something similar to that, and removing a lot of the things that you might be holding on to that might be weighing you down. But when you're in the position to move forward, when you've got that open, now empty space, what do you fill it with? So we're going to do some videos about what we're going to fill that space with, and hopefully that's going to be something positive and something that resonates with you. So it doesn't have to be hard to switch from negative to positive, even though it can feel that way. And sometimes it can feel very foreign. So another example I use with a client is, and I heard this from someone else, I did not come up with this. If I can remember where I heard it, I will tag that person, but it's very similar to always having your house on fire. If you're used to a volatile relationship, a volatile situation, or an environment that you live in, that's actually what's become comfortable for you, what's become normal for you. And when you release the negative emotions, when you release the energy, when you shift and change from that environment, and now you're in a more positive space, what do? So instead of going back to old habits, old patterns, and things that are common and familiar, and there's a reason that we go back to even those volatile areas, those negative environments, it's because we're seeking out something that's comfortable, something that's familiar. So we're going to create some new patterns, new habits, new environments. And what we're going to do is start simple. So some of these videos will get more complex as we go on, but we're going to start with very, very simple things because shifting from a negative environment, it can be hard. And again, it can feel foreign to try something new and something positive. And a lot of times, I've talked about this in another video, people will say they don't feel comfortable with affirmations because they don't believe them. So it doesn't feel right to keep saying them again and again. It doesn't feel effective because they don't feel the emotion that goes with it. And in order for those things to be effective, you need to believe them and you need to feel them. So we're going to start with very simple affirmations, ones that might not make sense in the beginning that will as we go on. We're going to start with very simple techniques. And in this video, we're going to talk about one that I used that actually helped me to reduce inflammation because it was reducing stress. It helped me to lose weight. It helped for a lot of different things. And it's very, very simple, and it's breathing. Now, you don't have to panic. You don't have to worry. We're not going to get into box breathing. We're not going to be doing any kind of specific patterns of the breathing. All I want you to do is, and I'm going to take a few minutes for this video and I'm going to extend it as we go on. So this is going to be the first one. And I want you to take anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes a day and do deep breathing. Now we're going to work our way up, and hopefully you can work this into a routine or some kind of a habit or schedule that you will get into. And we're going to replace some old habits of driving to work and thinking about who we're coming in contact with and letting that bring our blood pressure up. We're going to try and shift our thinking. But while we're doing all that, we're going to focus on breathing. One thing I see with clients a lot, especially when they hold on to certain kind of emotional energy, is that they don't breathe. Now, a lot of us, far more of us than there should be, are guilty of doing this, myself included. We don't breathe enough during the day. And we don't breathe deeply enough because we're usually in a lifestyle that's very busy, very overwhelming, constantly demanding, and we have a lot of stress on us. And what we do when we're stressed is hold our breath. And again, think about all the things that are expected of us at work. Think of all of the demands that we have throughout the day. Think of all of our responsibilities with our families, within our relationships, and we just start holding our breath. And we go on vacation or we take breaks on the weekends and we start to breathe a little, but not nearly enough. Now, you don't have to be perfect. This does not have to be perfect. You don't have to hold it for a count. I'm not going to talk through the whole video because I want you to focus on the breathing. So I'm going to put up some hopefully peaceful pictures, some nice images, and some music for you to listen to. And if you're in the car, if you have a radio on, if you're at home and your kids are around, wherever you are, try to, even if it's in the morning, just before you get up and start your daily routine, or before you go to bed at night, take a couple of minutes. If you can do this during the day, if you can take a little bit of a break when you have a lunch break, when you have a few minutes to yourself, or again, when you're commuting maybe back and forth to work, try and do some deep breathing. So what you want to do is take a deep breath in to the point where you notice that you're actually taking a deeper breath than normal. So you're sitting here breathing, but I want you to breathe in. And to the point where you notice your chest expanding, your stomach expanding, you notice that breath coming into your body more so than you would just normally as you're sitting there or as you're walking around, whatever you may be doing. So the point you know that you're taking in a deeper, a bigger breath than normal. And if this is hard for you, that's okay. You don't have to go breathing in for 4 or 6 or anything like that. Even just taking a breath for 1 or 2 is okay. You don't have to hold it for a long time. If you can hold it for a few seconds, that's fine to start with. And then make sure you breathe out. If you can breathe out through your mouth or your nose with sort of a letting go kind of a feeling, kind of a little bit more of a force to blow that air out than you normally would, just the same as when you were breathing in, that's perfect. And all you need to do is the 2 to 5 minutes, just be conscious that you're breathing more deeply than normal. And believe me, if you do this regularly for long enough, you will notice a difference. So we're going to start with this today. This one's going to be 5 minutes for the people that want to go 5 minutes. If you can only do a couple of minutes, that's okay. Work your way up. And I'm going to extend the videos and we're going to get into deeper breathing, maybe some more different breathing techniques. There's going to be some affirmations. There's going to be some tapping videos. There's going to be some different videos to progress you as you start to develop more positive techniques, behaviors, and responses now that all that negative energy has been cleared out, or most of it. Emotion code can help go back and clear things out that come up as we go forward. And as we heal, there will always be things that come up because throughout our lives, we encounter an awful lot. We go through an awful lot, and sometimes we store up an awful lot. So there may be things that come up later to release. But when we work towards doing that and we work towards replacing with the positive, you'll find an easier overall shift in general. Things won't be as stressful, they won't be as bothering, and you will be able to relax and to look at things with a more open mind, a more open heart, and hopefully you will be able to take things in with less stress. So I'm going to start some gentle music now and some images, and I want you to do the deep breathing in a way that is comfortable for you for as long as you can. And again, try to make this a habit at least once a day. If you can do it 2 or 3 times, that's even better.